Hello and welcome to the official Cairns Taipans post-game show. Oh, no, wait, it's not just the Cairns Taipans, is it? We've got to cover the entire NBL, but of course I'm here with Peter Hooley and Damon Lowry. Oh, sorry, now look a bit closer. Gibbo's back in the studio, finally. You've been off coaching, doing all your other stuff?
I have a little ankle surgery, but let's get to the main man.
We'll get to the main man, Forde, because that is not a Reebok, which is on your boot. We have not many sponsors on this show, and we need to keep them. But Forde, welcome in, and congratulations on another massive win for the Taipans.
Yeah, thanks for having us. This is a first. Where were you guys last year?
Oh, we were just hanging around, doing stuff. I was supporting Melbourne United last year, I think it was. I'll just go with whoever's winning. But no, I do want to say, look, your team is playing unbelievable basketball at the moment. How's it all coming together? Look, we got one of the lower budgets in the league. We're in, for all intents and purposes, somewhat of a tourist town, but somehow you managed to get this thing to work.
I got Moneyball and repeat on my Netflix. I think I'm the reason it's a #1 movie at the moment. But nah, look, we got great people. From Troy to Mark, allowing me to sort of play out the vision that I saw it, and then the guys we recruited in. And I don't know if you guys got much footage of the timeouts near the end of the game, but Taj was sort of running that show, and that's why we wanted to have him sort of take the realms in pre-season, and everything's starting to pay off.
Forde, hopefully we can pull up a little bit of vision of the team after the game, having a lot of fun. You look like you're the leader of the fun committee, just kind of inviting your team to have a lot of fun. Here we see it here. Just the guys playing free and open and kind of being themselves. Is that kind of stuff you've been promoting throughout the season?
Yeah, and I really dropped the ball last game, I thought, against Brisbane. I definitely coached frustrated. I know I mentioned it beforehand, and I saw how I affected the body language. And we were up 10, but we're at the foul line against that Brisbane game, and I was on, I think, everybody at some point, and then I saw how I impacted that. So, it was more a reflection on me than the group, and I coached myself, I guess, to sort of have more fun.
Forde, this is two seasons last year, completely different team, completely different style of play. Normally we talk about how teams take on the identity of their coach, their personality of their coach. What is your personality like in year two as opposed to year one?
Oh, I guess I haven't changed that much. To be honest, I've always sort of had that aggressive mindset. I knew I wanted to play fast and up-tempo. I always viewed the offense as an artist's clear canvas and allow these guys to paint the picture that they want to paint. But then on the defensive end, to put the hard hat on and lock it down and do it my way. So we recruited guys to have that artistic, creative freedom on the offensive end, and who were, really gritty on the defensive end.
Forde, one of the biggest things this year, of course, has been Keanu Pinder. He's gone from, relatively obscurity in Adelaide, and people almost coming at him on social media. We saw at Adelaide, why did they pick him up? Why is he on this team? And now he's an MVP contender, and I'll tell you what, I don't think we're going to have him in the NBL for that much longer. How much say have you had in his development this year?
Oh, look, I think I probably identified more as someone who can see the talent. To sit here and say I coached him how to make those post moves, it's a bit lying. I just sort of gave him the platform to be able to explore and make some mistakes and learn from it. He's just taking care of the rest.
Well, we want to throw this little trick shot that you had at practice up as well, Forde, because you did send me a text message just before and asked that you really wanted to have it included. How's this? Now, practice what you preach. How are you reacting if one of your boys throws one of them up mid-game?
I tell you what, I hit the half-court shot today at shoot-around too, so I should have got that one. But, nah, look, while they're on court two, do their ignition with our high-performance team, it gives me a bit of downtime to clown about in court three. And, hey, look, I didn't put that out there. I don't want to act like I was trying to flex on anybody, so that wasn't from me.
Speaking of trying to flex, poor Jonah Antonio was also on the receiving end of a bit of your high-flying prowess.
Well, what one's that one?
Look, have you got a monitor in front of you? Yeah. Oh.
Caught a body.
Oh, that would have been, that was our Members' Day, I think, on the foreshore. Yeah, look, I had to do it to someone, and poor old Jonah was the victim.
I love it. Now, I know you love your players to have a fun and free time, so if I was to get on a plane now, at what time would the boys be arriving to Gilligan's?
No, none of that. That's what's cool about this group, man. They clamp it down. They're not about that. They're they all got a a mission in mind. Some of them want to get to the NBA. Some of them want to make a lot of money in Europe. Others want to represent the national team. But our collective identity right now is to win a championship. So, if anything, these guys are going to be in the gym doing their recovery and rolling on to the next one.
I'm starting to find out why my basketball career crashed and burned as quickly as it did. But anyway, Forde, fantastic win. You're one of the most fun coaches in the league. You're coaching one of the most fun teams. We absolutely love to have you.
Cool, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Now,
Thank you.
We've just gone from, in my opinion, my favourite coach and my favourite team to what is only to be considered a basket case for this week's Harden Up, Damon Lowry.
Now, harden up, ladies and gentlemen. Never in my life have I delivered a personal harden up. Never. Strictly business and educational. Now, Gibbo, I'm with you on the pants leg thing because of you, but I'm not with you for your former team. Brisbane Bullets. You guys thought the basketball guys was done with you, huh? You just couldn't leave well enough alone. James Duncan comes in. He goes 0-5. Now, I don't mind. If you want to make a hit at 0-5, make the hit. But what do you guys do? You wait till he wins 3 out of his next 4, and you did it for personal reasons that you haven't quite had the guts to come out and say why. That's okay. Off Duncan goes. Do you have a plan B? Normally when you sack somebody, you got a replacement ready. Nope. Now you guys go and grab the GM to leapfrog you to assistants. Never in the history of sports is that allowed to happen. It does not pass the eye test. That stinks. But what happens? You guys think you got what you want, right? Now Sammy goes 1-3. And the basketball guys remind you once again about their power. Now Sam gets the chop. And now who's the next coach? The interim that you didn't want the first time. It's a double interim. Have you ever heard of a double interim coach? Poor old Greg Vanderjack, and you went and told him face to face, huh? Oh, no, that's right. He had to read about it on social media first. What the hell is going on with this ownership group? I'm hearing Vernon Davis. I'm hearing Chris Middleton. I'm here. Felix, do you own any of this team? Who knows?
I think I got a bit.
Who knows who these owners are? Whatever you guys are doing, it's all wrong. Every bit of it. So, and it's not over for you guys neither. So you're going to get what you deserve, like I said, because these shenanigans are out of control. And one of you owners need to show up in Australia and put an end to this madness and harden up.
We want boots on the soil. Absolutely loved it. One question before we throw to the break here. Sam McKinnon, is that position as GM now untenable because he said that he wants to be the head coach?
It has to be. If you the guy, what's his name? Purvis? If you Purvis, you super nervous. Because when you get here, Sam is looking at you like this. He giving you the side eye. It doesn't work.
Oh, well, the poor Brisbane Bullets are in a world of hurt, but let's jump to a break now. But first, Sportsbet at the line for all the tips you need to know on everything.
Welcome to At The Line. My name is Simon Legg and we're here to talk about NBL. But before we do so, I wanted to wear some sunglasses, but the producer didn't let me because, Josh, is that a canary yellow shirt? What is that?
It is a canary yellow. It's on brand with Sportsbet, and I quite like it. So I'm not copying anything from you. This is a lovely shirt, and I'll hear nothing else of it.
I actually do like it, but I'm not going to deny it. Sorry, I'm not going to lie. It is incredibly blinding, and I don't know how it looks on TV, but we'll get the viewers to ask because they've been commenting on your fashion, and that's why you've switched, is what I've heard.
Yeah, well, I've been dressing down. They want me to dress up, so this is what I've come up with. But let's see if we can find a few winners across the National Basketball League.
We are here to talk about it, and we're here to talk about Saturday night's game. It's the 36ers and the Bullets. Talk me through it.
Well, I mean, Adelaide should be winning this game. Brisbane, they've sacked another coach. So they've sacked their first coach, they've sacked their interim coach, and now they're up to their interim coach, Greg Vanderjack. So who knows what's going to happen with the Bullets. I think they could absolutely fall off a cliff. So I'm interested in Adelaide here. And if we have a look at the same game multi, Adelaide -6.5, they should blow them out, particularly in the City of Churches. Robert Frank's 17.5 or more. He has been the main man in the absence of Craig Randall. And Antonius Cleveland, he's been playing really good basketball, 5 boards or more. $8, I like that one.
And moving on to Sunday's game, the Phoenix and the Kings. Before we actually talk specifically about the game, we want to talk about Chase Buford's comments earlier in the week because they were pretty strong against a team who are going really well, let's be honest.
Well, you know, as a bit of a coach myself, Simon, I mean, I can't understand. I get that they might be struggling in fourth quarters. But to call his team out the reigning champs, they won the whole thing last year. They're on top of the ladder. I thought it was a little bit harsh, but he's obviously looking for a reaction.
Now, talk about your bet, because that's the most important thing here.
Indeed, yeah. This is going to be a really good game of basketball. So let's have a look at the same game multi. The Phoenix and the Kings, both high-scoring teams, so over 174.5. Justin Simon's athletic. Take him for 5 boards or more. And Ryan Brockhoff needs to absolutely bounce back from the throwdown. I reckon he'll nail 3 or more triples.
And we've got one more game on Sunday to talk about. It is United and the Hawks. And United have started to get their act together of late.
Yeah, a bit of a lowly game, this one. As you said, Melbourne were good in the throwdown, thumping the Phoenix. And Illawarra, they are really struggling. They are looking at the wooden spoon. But there's a game on, so let's have a bet. Melbourne United -3.5. I think that line will even move, so get involved there quickly. Marcus Lee +6.5. The new import's doing his thing on the glass. And CG43, he made 4 threes on Thursday night. Get involved.
I like it, Josh. And if you want to follow at home, please make sure you do so responsibly.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Well, you can say whatever you want about the Sydney Kings off-court antics, but you cannot say that this man right here is not, one, a fantastic coach, but 2, one of the most entertaining figures in the NBL. He's been an absolute blessing to this league. Maybe not in the fashion department, but in the action, yes.
Well, he's been phenomenal. Look at him. He's an entertainer and he's got his team up and about. And I know there's going to be some talk about their fourth quarters, but this man's got his team on top of the ladder after losing their 3 imports from the year before. And they're playing some good basketball. They're the road dogs. They get their wins on the road and they own Sydney.
The guy wears his heart on his sleeve. Whatever he feels, his face cannot not express it. His press conferences are something to look forward to.
Do we think Chase Buford right now, where's he sitting on the Coach of the Year rankings?
I'm still leaning towards Modi or New Zealand, but you can't disrespect Chase Buford, even though it's boring because you've already won it and you got a great team, and it's like we take it for granted. Yes, you're a good coach.
There's voter fatigue.
But coaching is a verb. It's an action. So I like to see other coaches in action kind of get it. Right now, I'm leaning towards Modi, but obviously Chase is a great coach.
Well, if they give the Coach of the Year award for 3 quarters, then I reckon he's a runaway winner. But if they start including the fourth quarter on it, we might be in a little bit of trouble because the Kings, that is where they need to lift up. But from one organisation to another, you hate to see it happen, but you also love it at the same time. The South East Melbourne Phoenix just decided to add a little bit of a nugget into their press release before the throwdown. Now, but still, most of the noise around the Phoenix from external media screams doubt. Their bench doesn't produce enough, their defence is suspect, and they haven't been tested by the good sides yet. Well, it sounds relatively true to me. The loudest voices, Damon Lowry, point to the team's defence and how it hasn't improved in 3 years, which is simply an incorrect and I see it, but I don't believe it. A lazy analysis. Now, talk about poor timing, because the Phoenix managed to come out and do everything they just said in that press release. What was it? It was 4 points from the bench, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and they're giving up almost 90 points. Damon Lowry, we don't have time for 2 hard ups, but the poor media manager at the Phoenix might be deserving of one.
What are you talking about? Do you go to the games? Wow. Look, we need an editor. Somebody's got to put their fingerprints over that and sort that out, because they're way off.
Well, both my former teams are getting absolutely grilled tonight. I'm not a part of none of this.
Who paid for that ankle surgery?
Well, I did. Straight out of the back pocket. But, I mean, for me, the Phoenix, they shortened their rotation up against Melbourne. Their bench guys didn't play a lot of minutes, so of course you're not going to score when they're not on there. Mitch Creek played a lot of minutes. Trey Kell played a lot of minutes. Still a lot of the season left to go, though.
Yeah, very, very politically correct answer there. Now, I'll tell you what, I was going to sit here when I read that release and I saw it. I love the Phoenix. I love Simon Mitchell, Tommy Greer. I reckon they're fantastic people. I like the organisation as a whole. It's real blue collar. But unfortunately, I have had to switch my stance due to an email that I received during the week, which said that I was no longer allowed in the venue unless I had my accreditation with me. I've been held up outside of the South East Melbourne Phoenix games for almost every game because I forget to bring my accreditation. Now, am I acting out of line? But there was a sternly worded email saying that, no, you have to have your accreditation or you will not be allowed in the building.
I thought they might have been hating on you because of the blazers you've been wearing.
Well, I'll tell you, if anyone deserves to be hated on for a blazer, it is Peter Hooley. Oh, see, look at that. Look at that for accreditation. I go to all the extent of even putting a bow tie on for my photo there.
Is that your prom photo? Who'd you take to the formal?
Prom. But I'll tell you what, come on. I'm going to give my own harden up South East Melbourne Phoenix. You know who I am. Just let me in the venue even when I forget the accreditation. I'm not going to do anyone harm. I'm just trying to deliver a nice 2-minute pre-game address.
You got a job to do. Let him do his job.
Hey, they like to be safe. Security is a big thing. Just
Can we bring up
your accreditation? Anyway, on to the next.
Can we bring up your CommBank app and see who's depositing money? Because I'm pretty sure it'll have a T-Green.
Hey, I'm looking after my teams, man. Come on.
Well, now, I'll tell you what, it's time to get to a more inspiring story here, because we are smitten with our good friend Harry Minton on this show, the one-armed basketball player who just keeps absolutely dominating Damon Lowry.
This is incredible. Just saw little Harry get on the glass, get a rebound. He just don't just score. He's a contributor all around the board. Runs the floor, gets the layup, bucket. What did he finish with this guy? I think he finished with 16. And we're just talking off air. Oh, man, he got his own basketball card.
Oh, look at that.
Gibbo, you ever get one of the basketball cards?
No, I didn't.
Me neither. Look at that. Stylish. Got the headband on. He's ready for the big time. We all smitten with Minton. And let me just say this. I want to say this because we were talking before we came on air. Harry, if you drop 25 next game, Gibbo is giving you a free workout.
Done. Come on in. Come into the warehouse. We might even get some camera crew in. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon we get it.
Full suit.
We get it. No, he's doing fantastic. And now he's got a hero as well who's playing NCAA basketball. Emmanuel, someone also with one arm, dunking it, doing everything. And it's not just like this dude's a legitimate player, much like Harry, absolutely getting it done. But I do want to touch, we are going to touch on Melbourne and Perth a little bit after the break, but we're going to throw to that now. Plenty more coming up right after this. Well, a must-win game is one of the most overused terms in sports, but I'd say for the Adelaide 36ers and the Brisbane Bullets that you see lining up right there, this may be that. Two teams just sitting further down the bottom of the ladder, but the parity within this league, we know how easy it is to climb back up, and the way that the media circles spin. You win one game, and a lot of commentators will be saying you are championship contenders. But the Adelaide 36ers and the Brisbane Bullets, Ian Clark announced for Adelaide. How big is this going forward?
Well, if this is confirmed, it's big because...
This is confirmed. If Olgun tweets it, it's confirmed. I'll say that right now. If Olgun tweets it, it's 100%.
This is big if he's signed, if it's definitely guaranteed. Because he was great for Sydney. He knows how to play with great players. He's done that with the Warriors. He come off the bench for the Kings. Happy to play a role, but he's a big shot player as well. So I think he'll be perfect for them to slot in. And we haven't talked about Adelaide a lot. We just did then, but they're 6 and 8. They're sitting 8th in the ladder. They need to pick their, up.
Yeah. And I'm going to believe Ian is here when I see a picture of him on Hindley Street. Like, I need to see it. Because there's always talk of guys coming, not coming. Let them get here first. Let me just show up in the city of churches. But you're right, Gibbo. 6 and 8. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, everybody was like, okay, it was that guy's fault. That guy that used to play for them, that guy? Well, he ain't here no more. Now what's the problem? So I think it's a lot of inconsistency with this team. And being a point guard, we looking right at you, Mitch McCarron. This is your team, so to speak, as the lead guard. And right now, things are just not happening for him. So they're in struggle time right now. Hopefully, if Ian Clark shows up, things can turn around.
Tell you what, between me and you, Damon Lowry, I think Gibbo's pretty friendly to the teams that are paying him a bit of a wage, but the other ones are just copping a whack.
My 3 teams, you're on them today, but look at those uniforms.
This is the Gibbo Cup. I will say this, the Indigenous jerseys this year have been absolutely phenomenal. We were just speaking off air about the tight bands, what good a job they've done. That Adelaide one, I would wear that out. This is what you need to get to. We would wear jerseys just out on the street.
If you come out and play soft in one of those, then God help you, because that is unreal. Those are some awesome uniforms. So hopefully that can inspire a good effort.
Now, the Brisbane Bullets with plenty of outs today. Some young fellas are going to have to step up if they're to stay into this one. And, of course, the coaching carousel continues. The next stop up today.
Cody Statman, I'm looking for him to step up. Sobey didn't have a great shooting night last night, but everyone knows you play in Adelaide. They are some unbelievable shooters' rings. So look for that man right there, Nathan Sobey, to step up and have a big game. I'm thinking 30.
Tyler Johnson sitting over there in a polo shirt next to Tanner Krebs. I heard he didn't pass his fitness test. I don't know what score you need to pass one of those. Will a 62 pass? I want to know the details of these tests. Anyway, they're in struggle town, as we've already said. So they're playing for pride. Hopefully they can just circle the wagons and just come out and give a great effort.
Now, we talk about some of the best guys in the league. The man that you see on camera right there, Jason Kadee, where would you rank him in nicest blokes in the league?
Oh, he's up there. He's definitely one of the nicest. He's happy to have a conversation, but there's a reason why. If you have a conversation, you're nice with people, you're nice with your opponents, they won't attack you and go at you. It's very smart. That's a true point guard. Smart. Get them on your good side, be friendly, they don't attack you.
Okay, I'm going to give some predictions here, but I'm not only going to ask you for the game prediction, I want game and season. Can either of these teams turn it around? So we'll start with you, Gibbo. Adelaide game prediction, and can they turn their season around?
Well, I think Adelaide will win this. I think they'll win by about 12. But yeah, I do. I think especially when the great man Ian Clark comes into town, but they've got too much talent on that roster. And like we said, all it takes is a 5-6 game win streak and they're in the top 4. So I look for them to turn around and I think they'll have a good win tonight.
Adelaide by a mile. Brisbane just in all kind of, it would be, I could say they're a dumpster fire, but it would be disrespectful to dumpster fires. I don't know what they're going to come out here and do. They could lose by 30. So Adelaide in a landslide, even though Adelaide's not playing that great.
And Ian Clark, high character guy that they're bringing in, how seamlessly is he going to be able to fit his game style with this 36ers unit?
Well, he'll slot into anyone, like we said. He's played with superstars before. He knows how to play a role off the bench. He doesn't seem like a selfish player. The Kings all loved him last year, so he'll slot in nicely. He knows the league. He played here last year, so he'll be an instant impact off the bench for sure.
Well, that's all we got here for the crossover. Tune in to the Adelaide 36 and the Brisbane Bullets coming right up.